Have you ever read an article describing crime? Or maybe you watched a TV program about it? How about any crime dramas on popular streaming platforms such as Netflix? Did they ever change the way you think about crime? Did they get you a bit more scared, a bit more vigilant? Or maybe now you just know how to commit a perfect crime without being caught. Crime has been present in the media since the 17th century. Initially, popular magazines presented fictional stories about crime. But soon after, they replaced them with true crime descriptions. And the more gruesome that crime was, the more readers it attracted. The representation of crime by media impacts how we perceive the crime. For example, we think that we are much more likely to become victims of the crime than it actually is in reality. Similarly, crimes of a more violent nature tend to be presented much more often in media than other types of injustice. And this makes us think that serious crime is much more common than it actually is. Not only does the media overrepresent serious crime, but it also misrepresents the victim demographics and focuses more on women and children compared to the actual crime statistics. Similarly, perpetrators are portrayed often as people of color, and this happens much more often than it's actually the case. Media also create images of an ideal victim and ideal offender, people with certain characteristics that are usually associated with respective groups. However, official statistics show that non-ideal victims and non-ideal offenders are much more common. With the emergence of social media, it is now not uncommon to see the celebrities using the power of large follower numbers to campaign for justice. In some cases, those celebrities has influenced the system enough to even free some groups out of the prison. You can also see media getting involved in high-profile court trials. The content presented to the public often shows the person being tried either as guilty or innocent even before the verdict. This influences our perception of that individual and sometimes stigmatizes them with inaccurate labels such as the murderer or that strange person. When the affected individual is either released on bail or even found not guilty, the public already has their views set in a preconceived way, regardless of the verdict. This leads not only to social exclusion, which sometimes is unjust, but also impacts the well-being of the person being tried. The media representation of crime can lead to moral panic, where the shown problem is significantly exaggerated. This can lead to a misperception of certain groups of people, such as people in hoodies are always the bad guys, which is not necessarily correct. Finally, the overarching presence of crime in media can cause more crime. Crime is popular. It can be perceived as glorified. With crime being ever present, it is easy to access information on how to commit a crime and avoid being caught, which may increase the levels of crime. This was just a short introduction to the fascinating yet complex topic of media and crime. You will find more details about it in the learning resource called Crime in Media in the learning resources of the SCCJR. I also encourage you to have a look at other valuable criminology resources published by the SCCJR. Thank you.